Welcome back, everybody, to the Forging Roots Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Couture. This is another episode of Forging Fridays. I hope you guys are having a good day, whether that be morning, afternoon, evening. If you're listening to this at work or on the drive somewhere, I hope you guys are doing well and being safe. So this week, I wanted to just kind of hop on and kind of give an update on what I did this past weekend, because there was a lot of new things that I did that I've never done before. And, that's all part of Forging Roots and pushing yourself to do new things and create and forge new ideas. Maybe it's something you never thought of trying. Maybe it's something you end up liking and doing for the rest of your life. So this past weekend, which was, I think, weekend after 4th of July, my girlfriend surprised me with a long weekend trip for my birthday. Kind of surprised. We knew we were going to plan it, and just I didn't know that is where we were going or what we were doing. She had all the stuff planned out, and I was just going for the ride. And this was kind of a thank you, not a thank you, but like just a gift for me, because I did the same thing for her back in her birthday during February. I surprised her with the trip, didn't tell her where she was going, and took her skiing for her first time ever. So she was excited about that and enjoyed it so much that she decided, hey, why not do that for Matt? And I'm very grateful, because it turned out to be an amazing trip and everything was planned out perfectly at a great time. So she only told me beforehand that we're going somewhere in Ohio and to bring my hiking boots and like hiking clothes and stuff like that. Other than that, normal clothing and things of that nature would be fine. Nothing really crazy out of the ordinary. So I was like, okay. First thing I started to do was, all right, well, if she's taking me hiking, Ohio's cornfields, man. Like, where are we going to go that's going to be actually worth having that kind of gear or equipment? And I was like, it's probably Hocking Hills. That's where everybody goes. Or at least everybody that I know from Michigan has gone when they say they go hiking in Ohio. And she asked me throughout the couple months, like, do you have any idea what we're doing? And I was like, nope. But then I eventually thought of this, and she goes, do you know what we're doing? I go, well, if I'm bringing hiking boots, the only thing I'm thinking is hiking in Hocking Hills. Other than that, I'm really not sure where in Ohio we could even go. And she's like, nope, not it. I was like, dang, okay, well, then yeah, I have no idea where we're going. And she even asked it again 4th of July weekend, when the weekend before, when I was at her parents. We were at her parents together and helping them, and they even asked too, like, do you have any ideas? And I go, well, Hannah said it's Hocking Hills. And they go, oh yeah. And she also told me too that it's somewhere she's never been. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I know it's not Hocking Hills because it's somewhere you guys have never been before. And they're like, oh yeah, no, never been there. No, yeah, it's not Hocking Hills. Come to find out, I'm kind of dragging it out, but long story short, we're driving all the way there, and literally up until 10 minutes before, because I'm from Michigan, I don't know my directions or where we were going in Ohio. She was driving, and I was kind of in and out of like zoning out. So we could have been driving north for all I know. Maybe we were going to Michigan. But she's like, do you have an idea yet? And I missed two signs. One, she asked me a question. I forget what now, but she asked me something. So I looked at her, answered it, and she goes, did you see that? And I was like, what? She goes, and then she starts laughing at me because she thought it was hysterical, which it was. And I completely missed the entire sign that said Hocking Hills. And then I somehow missed the second one that was just outside of it. And 10 minutes before we got there, I did finally see a sign that said Hocking Hills hiking and all that. So I was like, oh, we are going here. And we got a good kick out of it. And yeah, it was super cool. It was nothing like what I thought it was going to be, but in a good way. So we get there, and we ended up going to we went to a cabin. She got a cabin for us for the weekend, and when we got there, because I went straight from work, I didn't get off work till later, and then by the time I got to her, and then we drove all the way down there, it was dark out, and especially up there, it's kind of hilly, not quite. I mean, depends on your terms of mountains, but very big hills, uh, wooded, so it's even more dark, obviously, since it's wooded. And we turned onto this road, and we got a great laugh because it was like 3 miles. We had 3 miles left until we reached like the place we were staying at, and the roads were so up and down, like crazy terrain, windy, turny, like one side over the other. Like if you were to go a little too far right, boom, you're falling off that cliff right there. And we're driving up, and this 3 miles, man, I don't know why, but it felt so long. And her and I were just joking back and forth, like, man, I can't believe half of this drive has been just down this road, because it feels like it's been way longer than it was. And we might have been a little slap happy by then because we are just tired. But it was really, I was like, man, I wish I could see this because it's dark. I'm assuming this looks really cool. But anyways, so we get to the cabin, we get in, and she gets the key and everything. And uh all this time too, I was instructed to not look in the back of the, oh, just popped into frame. I was instructed not to look back into the car, or in the back of the car, because there was part of my gift in there. So, and she couldn't really hide it well, so she didn't want me to see. So I didn't look at all, and I swear, I promise, I didn't. And she says, keep your eyes straight forward, and then I'm gonna go in, make sure the key's good, and then we're good. So we did that, and then I head in, or I get out of the car. She goes and moves the stuff to wherever she needed to hide it, so I couldn't see. Then we started unloading, and this place was super nice. We had it was AC controlled, and TV, all normal stuff. But the coolest part was it had a wraparound porch, and what I couldn't see because it was dark was we actually at the front faced a private pond that was at this facility. And we were basically like we weren't the only ones there, but it was just everyone kept on themselves and was super private. So we basically had the whole pond to ourselves the whole weekend. And then out the backside was like down the rest of the mountain or hill or whatever you want, I guess Hocking Hills, down the hill. And again, it was so dark we couldn't see when we got there. But the next morning, we have a hot tub that was on our wraparound porch, which is super awesome. And after a long day of work, it was nice to be able to get out of the drive and then get the bathing suit on and just chill and loosen the muscles up and get ready for vacation mode for the next couple days. So we get there and we did some hiking, and actually shout out to Jason Holiday. You guys have heard me talk about him before on the podcast. He's been on a few times. He recommended some hiking pants because I was like, shoot, I only have shorts. I don't have any like good lightweight pants to go hiking in because I don't, ticks are bad. I didn't know what the terrain would be like. So I was like, I really don't feel like getting any of that. And I want a nice pair of light pants. And he's like, dude, check out Walmart. They have I forget the exact name, but it's something like their adventure pant or something. And it was only like $20. It worked so nice, especially for the price. I mean, it's so hard to beat. But yeah, we did that. We had those when we were hiking, and we looked all, I'm sure she'd say we look cute in our little backpacks with our hydro packs or whatever. So we had the little clips, and we could put the water in, so we didn't have to actually have water bottles. I had my hat, and I may have gone a little overboard on what I had to make sure we were all safe. And my mom beforehand was like, "Mate, do you need food rations just in case you guys get stranded?" I'm like, "Mom, it's so the trails are so marked, we'll be fine." But just for the heck of it, I did bring it because I don't know, I thought it'd be cool. And for the Instagram, which I didn't post that yet. But anyways, yeah, so we did hiking in Hocking Hills on our first day, and this was so not Ohio. It was there were waterfalls, there were caves, the inclines were just crazy. Um, just super beautiful, lush river flowing through it. And I'll have to if you guys follow my personal Instagram page, you guys will have seen the pictures on there. I might throw a couple of them up on the Forging Roots page as well, just so people that don't follow that can see them. Uh, but yeah, it was really beautiful there. And what else did we do that day? So we hiked like their main trail. I think the trail we did was Old Man's Cave. Uh, yeah, that's the one we did. So we did that, and then we kind of got done, and it was gloomy and raining all that first day, which apparently back home was sunny. So at first we were like, that's a little sucky, but it wasn't like heavy downpour. It was a nice sprinkle, and actually turned out to be really nice because it was definitely warm, and that was helping cool us down for sure. So we did that, and then we did the whole trail, got back to our car, and we're like, well, we still have a pretty decent amount of the day left. Do you want to go do another trail? So we ended up finding a different trail in a different spot, and there was a Hocking Hills Reservoir. It was a little lake that was really close as well. So we saw a way to get into there and a place to park. So we went to that trail, and this one was definitely more not like it was more of a trail through the woods than it was like the last one that we did, where it was very touristy. There were stairs, there were ropes kind of guiding you through, and uh it was, you weren't really walking through brush too much. It was very, very marked out. And one thing Hannah kept saying and joking about, like, look at these natural staircases, which were very, very clearly concrete somebody poured and like made out. But yeah, she definitely made me laugh with that. And what else? So yeah. Anyways, back to the other trail. This one was more rugged in the woods. I mean, it got soupy in some areas where it sunk in. We had to get different branches and things to like lay down, make sure we could walk across and get our balance. One of us may have slipped. I will not say who, but my boots were dry. That's all I'll say. No, but it was a really good time doing that. And I've hiked before in the past, but definitely felt good during this one. Like I felt super solid. And I definitely will say it's important, if you guys are going to be hiking, to have your water, have some snacks because you're going to burn calories. But man, do not skip leg day, because that made that hike for me so much easier than I thought it was going to be. Being able to, that and cardio just in general, but it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But we just kept our pace. It's not like we had to run or anything. And I woke up the next day and I didn't really feel sore. So I was pretty like pat myself on the back, felt good about it, because that's I don't know, it was a good accomplishment for me because I wasn't sure how I was going to handle that. And I've been a little off on the working out lately. So that was just a good testament to what I've done in the past, I guess. And just, yeah, it felt good. And it's good training because I don't think I've brought up quite yet on the podcast, which if you're hearing this for the first time, I guess this is the announcement of it, or just a quick brief one. I'm starting to prepare for an elk hunt in Colorado that'll be going on not this fall, but the following. So in a year, still have some time. That's why I haven't really said a whole ton. But doing stuff like this is part of the training and getting in the right mindset. But also, I know that hiking here in Ohio versus hiking in Colorado is going to be a lot different as far as elevation change. Like we're sitting at like maybe 700 feet sea level, where 10,000 feet up and above sea level is going to be very different on the body. But yeah, so we did that the first day, and then we came back, and she's like, "Well, I had something else planned for your birthday. I'm going to give you the rest of your gift now. Go ahead and close your eyes." So I close my eyes, and she walks over, gets whatever she needs to get, and says, "All right, open them." So if you guys are watching on YouTube, you guys will be able to see this. So if you guys are listening on Spotify, that's cool too. Maybe after, just go ahead and hop over there and check this out so you can see. And yeah, so she goes, all right, open it. I open it, and she got me my very first, which again, if you're watching this, you can see fishing pole. And I know now it is a rod and reel combo. Still not sure what other ones there are out there because I've never fished. I was not a big fishing guy growing up. Um, but yeah, so she got me my first fishing pole, and we went out to that private pond that we had where we were staying. It was a catch and release pond, and I got to catch my very first fish. She taught me how to get the bob around the hook and do all the knots and tying and get the bait on there, and showed me how to get. I mean, she got my first fish off for me. Thank you, babe. Appreciate it. And but the rest of them, I was able to get off and kind of get over that fear because I did get poked when I was a wee child. I didn't go fishing, but my uncle was fishing and he was trying to show me, and I freaked out because it flopped and then it stuck me in the hand. So I was a little freaked out. I'm not gonna lie, even though it was a bluegill, so it was a smaller fish that we caught today. I mean, or caught this past weekend. But that was a really fun time. I had a blast, and it was something again, forging roots, figuring something else out that you've never tried before, and it was a good time. I really enjoyed it, and I know she likes to fish, so that's something we're gonna have to keep doing as the years go on. And then the other thing she said, the only other thing she had planned, so that was all Friday, and then the rest of the day we kind of just chilled out, had some dinner, and then more hot tub, relax, watch TV because we didn't have any service at all. Which actually, I kind of backtrack first. Not having service was awesome because it forced us to be able to not be involved in our phones and spend time with each other, which we do a very good job of, or at least I feel we do a very good job of. Anyways, when we're with each other, we're not with our phones. But I know that's something I've talked about in past podcasts, social media, and how that can affect things like that. And uh, definitely somebody who is super involved and can't put it down for a second would have probably freaked out on this trip, not being able to access Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and everything. But we had a good time doing that. And I actually was able to use the Onyx maps that I downloaded for hunting just in general. But you can go ahead and if you know you're going to an area, download the map. So when you don't have service like we still get satellite. So if you download the map beforehand, you'll have a nice HD picture. You can choose 5 mile radius, 10 mile, 12 mile, whatever. They have different radiuses of the area that you're going to be in. And we had a map downloaded of there where we were in. And if we got lost, more so on the second trail that we did, that was not marked as well, we can just literally pull up our phone and we were able to zoom in. And even our Google Maps wasn't, or Apple Maps or whatever it was that she has, wasn't working because we just weren't getting good enough service to let it download. We were able to pull that up and then still just it was kind of fun because it's like old school mapping out, like, all right, I think go left here. This will take us to this road. It may not have been the fastest way to get back to where we're going because when you're just looking at the map, you don't know the speed limits or if there's construction on it or if that road even exists anymore. But we did have to do that for one of the drive home, and I enjoyed it, and she said she did too because I took us a little bit of a back way, not knowing, but it was super hilly and super scenic that way, so it kind of worked out for the better, anyways. But anyways, yes, Onyx map was super clutch to have. Recommended if you guys are gonna. They have even just Onyx trails, so if you don't do hunting and all that, you can get just the trails and stuff. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, we did all that the first day, and then we also noticed too, because when we got there, I was like super appreciative of her getting the cabin and everything for the weekend, and we're hugging, and I'm like, thanks so much for everything that you did. Like, I appreciate this is going to be a great weekend. And I'm kind of stop as if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can see me look like a fool right now. We're holding, and then I kind of stop and I look, I'm like peering through, what's that? What's that in the crack? I look in the crack and there's just this dollar bill. I'm like, that's really strange. All right. But at the same time, what I didn't realize is as she was hugging me facing the opposite way, there's like this little bench as soon as you walk in the door, kind of like a where you can take your boots off type of a thing. I can't think of what the word for that is. But like hang your coats up and stuff, like a little cubby bench or something. I don't know. And I walk over and we kind of just stopped talking during all that and like let go of each other and just walked right over. Didn't really say much. And then like turn around and go, "You see this dollar?" And at the same time, she says the same thing. "Do you see this dollar?" And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And she she's found a dollar in this little slot of the cubby, and I found one in the wall. I'm like, "What the heck?" So of course we pull them out, and then we see somebody is signed their names and dated them. And not just them, but like other people, other couples and stuff have them. Like, interesting. And then we're just kind of going about our business. And she goes, "Oh my God, I found another dollar." And then after at that point, it was kind of on. This was Saturday morning because or Friday morning. Yeah, this was Friday morning. So it was like she was in the middle of making us breakfast. She brought some bacon. We had that on, and we're just looking around, man. We're like, "Oh my God, there's a dollar here. There's a dollar in the lamp. There's a dollar behind the handle of the nightstand right next to my bed." And then like there was one in the wall in the bathroom. We ended up finding over $47. $47 with people that have signed their name and dated them. Some were just relatively new with only like two names. Others were just like the whole dollar bill front and back was full. So yeah, it was super crazy to like figure this out and see this. Like we had no idea, and it wasn't like a thing listed on their site like that was a thing. It was just something that people who have gone to this cabin have done. And we enjoyed that so much. So we got so involved, we forgot about the bacon and we may have burned it, but it was definitely worth it because we had a good like hour plus. I mean, really all weekend long of just looking different places. We were moving picture frames and finding them in there. There was in the when we first came in, I remember going, "Oh my gosh, I saw the game Payday in one of the dressers." Pull the Payday out, open the board game up, look in the money, like the play money, and actually found a dollar that somebody hid in there with the names. So people were getting really clever with it, and we were starting to catch on. Like I said, we found $47, which was very tempting to just go, "Man, I wish I'd just keep this money." But we did hide them all back, and we actually added one of our own, and kind of cool. Hopefully somebody else that goes there gets the same experience and gets to have the same fun that we did. That was, I mean, it was simple, childish, just innocent fun, like nothing to it other than just a giant scavenger hunt. And little things like that as adults were normally, if somebody would have asked you, like, "Do you want to go on a scavenger hunt?" You'd be like, I don't care. That's for kids. I'm not going to do it. But it was fun to be able to kind of revert back to that kid like state and just enjoy the little things in life, if that makes any sense. And yeah, so that was also a really cool surprise at the cabin. What else did we do? Oh, so Saturday, she said we only had one thing planned where we had to be there at a certain time, and that was 10 a.m. on Saturday. We drove outside of the city of like Hocking Hills area to Lancaster, Ohio, and there she didn't tell me again, so I still was surprised. She's like, "Do you have any idea what we're doing? Any idea what we're doing?" And I saw the sign that she was talking about, but I just didn't realize it. And we ended up going glass blowing, and I had no idea that you could actually like I've seen glass blowing at Greenfield Village in which for those of you who don't know, it's in Detroit, and it's basically like an old school. You go there, everyone's dressed up like it's the 1800s, horse and buggy. It's a schoolroom. It's really just an educational museum where the co-workers are. It's kind of, what is it? Disney calls them cast members. I don't know what they're called, but basically they're role playing as if they were in that time period. And I've done that for field trips back in elementary school, and had seen glass blowing done there. But this was the glass blowing museum out in Lancaster, Ohio, and you can actually take a class to make your own things. So they do things where you can make your own paperweight, your own tumbler, your own glass, your own like drinking glass. You can make your own pumpkin, your own ornament, uh, all sorts of different things. And the one that we ended up doing was actually making our own ornaments. Which again, if you guys are curious to see any of that process or something, I'll have that. I have that on my Instagram, different pictures, my personal one, but I'll put some on the Forging Roots page as well, some video and stuff if I can of it, because it's a super cool experience. And they're talking like they have the main oven furnace thing, which is sitting at 2200 degrees, somewhere around there. And it's basically turned this stuff. And she said it's basically lava. That's how hot it is. And you can see as it droops, it's all orange and super hot. And it chills, it's sitting at 2200 degrees. Take it out, and then you can pick your colors. And it was interesting too, because the colors, even though it said it might be pink, it might be like I don't know, this is just me making it up, but it said if you wanted a pink color, it might look brown because of the elements that they use to get it to change that color are very similar to what they do with fireworks. So it reacts to the heat of the glass being heated up and will change to the color when it's done because it's heated up and it's chemically reacting to turn to the color that you really want. So she's like, don't worry, it might look nothing like what you want right now, but that's because of the process and the science behind it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know it, but it was very similar, like she said, to fireworks, same way that those work. So you pull that out, you can roll it in your colors that you need, that you want to make your ornament. Then you bring it over to this other oven thing that's shooting out heat to melt the colors that you just put on it into it. And that's sitting at anywhere from 1800 degrees to 2000, I think she said. So a little, I mean, still super hot. And I mean, when she moved that first like oven door or whatever it is, you just felt the heat just punch you in the face like crazy. And same thing with this one. It's just kicking out heat like none other. And you go and roll it. And then you bring it over and you kind of sit down at this table and you get this cooling cup that you put the bulb, because we are making ornaments, you put the bulb in and you just roll it and it cools the ornament down just enough for you to be, well, I guess I forgot one part is she blows this like bubble into it. Or no, I guess that's after, because once you do that and you kind of cool it, she takes it, and then at the end of the tubes, they're hollow, so you can actually blow air into, obviously glass blowing, to open that up and make it bubble. And then I was actually able to have this little attachment that goes on there and blow the glass myself to get it to size. Get it to size that we liked, and then from there, it was basically done. She kind of took over, did the hook part of it out of glass, and then put it in the cooling. For those of you who can't see who are listening to this on YouTube, I just did quotation marks, cooling, at a cold 900 degrees. And which for the glass, that's cooling it down without it, for it to cure correctly, but obviously still very hot. Then the next day, we were able to pick them up. And again, if you're watching on YouTube right now, I'll show you. I did a Forging Roots themed. I'll have to take a picture because it's not showing up too well, I don't think. Forging Roots themed ornament. So it's got the green, it's got the kind of tan brown in there, and I'm super proud of it. It turned out really nice. I'm very happy. I'm surprised how durable this feels. Like I thought it was going to be thin like normal ornaments, but no, feels super thick, like it won't break very easy, and it's super heavy ornament. But I'll try to post a picture of this as well on the Instagram. But yeah, so we did all sorts of different things that I've never done before, like glass blowing, fishing, scavenger hunts in a cabin. Also did things that I have been doing to make myself better. I got some reading in on that Comfort Crisis, got some more done on that. I was able to just kind of relax, connect with nature, and kind of be quiet and just away from all the things of everyday life. And it's super, super nice. I'm super grateful for my girlfriend to have thought of me and to plan this whole trip. She did an amazing job. and I was super, super grateful. There are lots of memories made, lots of laughs, and I am truly blessed to have her as my girlfriend. Lots of years of praying for the right person, and I know that she has definitely been a blessing and answer to that prayer. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, drive, work, or school, or whatever it is that you're doing right now. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Thanks, guys.